So we've had some crazy stuff revealed to us in the fairy tale spoilers where we've been finding out about another Dragneel and just more and more stuff hitting the fan, like a potential death, and just so much just keeps hitting us with this stuff. Now we're going to be talking about exactly what we think of Larcade Dragneel's abilities are and power. Now already I'm going to be making that crazy guess like I normally do and all that, however I do have a little bit of thing to step my ground on this one, and that is like I'm thinking that this version of Larcade, or what we're seeing on here, I think exactly is that he's perhaps maybe another God Slayer or something entirely different or that. Now I don't think he's an actual Dragon Slayer per chance, as we've already seen, like, you know, the Destined 7 already that we had, including God Sereno. God Sereno was the one that was exception, that had all these different kind of like insane like dragon powers and all that from like the general, like from the Lacrima, and from what we can see from obviously from this character as well, like, you know, a big thing on him is kind of like holiness, religion, like he carries a massive cross on his back, he has a cross on his forehead as well, so I think perhaps this could be a God Slayer, maybe a divine God Slayer that we've been seeing for a while, or this could be, since we've already seen a Devil Slayer in the series and all that, with an Ice Devil Slayer with Silver and Grey, and like also we've seen clearly before like so many demons, what's from stopping making like the guess that or suggestion that exactly that, like from what we're seeing of Larcade right now, is that what happens if he's like an actual Angel Slayer like that? What if that's something to him? He's a Holy Slayer or some kind like that. That wouldn't be like the probably the most possible guess right now for his powers, but like the question is, like, even though we're thinking about that, like, what exactly could we do? We have seen sort of a similar sort of thing, like, in the actual filler of Fairy Tail. Angel kind of changed her style from the Celestial Spirit Keys. She started summoning some angels, so like, sort of like some kind of summoning. So, that could maybe be in an earlier design, and maybe what Hiro Mashima had in plan. Kind of like some way, like, where he's able to summon, like, angels in a certain way. And maybe that's something like, you know, this man can do, this Dragneel man can do. Like, maybe he can do something about that. Although, I feel like since we've seen someone like Sting already, that was kind of, you know, the White Dragon Slayer, that's kind of like, and a lot of his like techniques had sort of holy fist in him like that. Wouldn't be surprised on that, like, if he was, which, like, the very rare chance on that he was a Dragon Slayer, he could be maybe a Divine Dragon Slayer, but I personally don't think that. I generally think he is, like, some sort of, like Angel / God Slayer, like, in some fashion, whether he's a Divine God Slayer, or whether or not he's just, like, you know, like a Holy Angel Slayer in some possible way. I feel like that's the thing that would actually explain him, and my theory going onto this is the fact that he was partnered up, as we saw there, with Bradman and Aline. And what was the thing with those two? Like, Aline could control the earth, like Bradman could control the underworld, and from what we could see like that, with like he was right there with them, what would make the most possible sense? He can control the heavens. If they can control all different parts of the world itself, it would be absolutely fucking insane what this man can do like that. And now the other question that everyone's wanting probably to know as well, apart from his powers, is who is this man? Now, there has been many people guessing all that, like that. I was thinking, like, is this like a family member of some sort and all that? Is this like, you know, an uncle? Or is there like, this is like an older brother, the father? And a lot of the guesses of being the father is because he's got that ring around his neck, and a lot of people have already suggested already that that is the wedding ring of his wife. And you're thinking like, well, what happened, like, you know, where is exactly, you know, if he's like, you know, from what we can see there, is he the same as Natsu? Is he ETHERIOUS Dragneel as well, which would be, like, creed would be E.L.D, like that. So it's like, we've already got E.N.D, and then it's like, oh, have we got L.E.D as well? Like, have we got that? Like, what other now, like, next and all that? Have we got O.C.D, like, coming into it? Like, some crazy stuff that's like, the question is, that's the weirdest thing about the mother case and all that, is that if this is the father, is where is the mother? Where is Natsu, Zeref, and, like, you know, where is their mother in this whole thing? Is like, perhaps did Zeref like experiment on her first and that failed, and then maybe as well he tried it on Natsu and then maybe on the father, or was he the first experiment, or even still, like, we've never once heard and all that about a brother, like, at all and all that. And like, the other suggestion is that this guy is either an ancestor of the Dragneel family, or he's from the future of like the Dragneel family, which would be a very weird, silly, you know, situation where we got like anything can happen with this character, where it's like we don't like possibly know, because time travel is a thing in the series. We have seen it before. So when it comes to characters being introduced, someone like Aline as well, you have no possible idea what exactly, you know, these characters, you know, where they could be and all that, whether or not they could be the mother. And it also doesn't help as well with the aging in these series and all that, and it goes to all manga as well. You can't really tell the age of these characters, so we can clearly see that, like, from what we see from Creed, like, he looks like he's obviously older than 20 years old and all that. Like, he could be in his, for all we know, he could be in his mid-20s to 40s at that point and all that. Like, the oldest characters, like, we've seen in the character, like, it's pretty much Gildas, who's like in his like late 40s, 50s, like that, and obviously Makarov, who's like 70 at that point, like that, and a couple of like other characters, but it's like a lot of them are very baby-faced, so we can't tell what exactly his relation is of this character, so we have no idea. If it, like, and even if this is the case and all that, did Zeref create this, like, you know, another, like, Dragneel or something like that in the possible line, or it's like, did he forget, like, you know, like, maybe at some point he just had another fucking kid with someone, like, you know, like, I don't think Zeref is the kind of person that would forget the love of, like, May the Slow. I don't think, like, that was something he would ever let go, and like people saying, like, oh, he went with another woman and all that, and he, like, you know, this is like Zeref's child. Like, I don't think this is. I don't think this is Zeref's child at all, like that. So, you know, it could be many factors and all that, like, what I can do, but May agreed to see some sort of, like, holy justice in, like whatever Zeref is planning on doing. Like, the fact that he's there with him is just a clear fact that, you know, there's something up with him, and the fact that he's obviously praying, and there's a lot of religious stuff going into him as well. Like, he's wearing the cross on his back, he's, like, got all this stuff around him. There's clear, you know, explanation that something's going on. Although people are saying as well, like, is the cross has something to do as well, from what we've seen of Aline. Aline did have the cross in her eye, and it's also the same sort of design on his head, so you got to think, you know, maybe that might be something as well. Like, maybe that's like the whole thing about him, but then we honestly have to see and all that. We have no idea, like, any information about this guy at all, apart from his name. We can only make sort of guesses and all that, but going by his design, he's obviously a monk of some kinds and all that, due to the robes, and then he's got the cross on his back, and then he's also as well very, like, seeming religious, and whatever it is, that ring on his neck is something important to him, and that is either A, that could be something maybe from his family, like a very long time ago, from whatever generation he's from, whether he's from the past, future, present, or whatever that is the case and all that, or that is his wedding ring from what he got to see, like, with like Natsu's mother. And if he is the father, then that's the wedding ring. If that's anything else, that's some kind of memento or some case and all that. Like, you know, this is a thing where, like, you know, we just can't, they're honestly, with such, like, just a picture to go on and just a design to go on, this is all we can do. But clearly this guy does not seem that, like, aggressive like the others, and he seems like some sort of retribution divine sort of thing. So I think, honestly, if we are ever going to face this character, because, like, if we are, I feel like Natsu has to confront this man at some point, and, you know, when we do and all that, we probably will get a, like, reveal that, you know, he obviously is, like, got a lot of divine holiness to him and all that, so it definitely shows that his power is definitely going to be something related to, like, Bradman was, like, kind of the walking death, like, sort of apocalypse when he was snowed about it, that he was just death on the battlefield, and look at him, and it's like, it would make sense if the fact that Aline could control the earth, / enchant the earth, if Bradman was the one that could control the underworld and, like, death and everything, and if we had the fact that this man as well could do it, and then it would make a great polar opposite for Zeref himself, because Zeref controls death magic himself, and it's like, what could counteract that is another Dragneeel that can control life, that can, you know, you do all this stuff and all that, and whether or not, you know, like, the extent of his powers are to the point where he can, like, heal people, whether or not he can do anything, we don't know. However, I do think whatever it is going to involve maybe he is a divine god slayer. That's the only possible, like, solution right now. I don't think he's a dragon slayer. I don't think, like, you know, he could be like some I don't know if he's an experiment or anything like that. Like, it could be, but we just don't know. If anything like that, I generally think this could, like, the most possible thing at the moment is that the father on the ring basis, that could be a thing, but then there's a hole in that theory where it's like, why would the father just be the only one resurrected when the mother is there, and this is the last Spriggan, unless it's a failed experiment. It's just so much to go on and all that. Like, either the most possible ones is that A, he is the father, B, he is a older brother that we didn't know, or C, he's from the future. Like, he's from the maybe he's like a future child of Natsu, like that. Although we've always heard that it's like Nashi is being a child. Maybe there's another one at some point, or it's like the D option. He's an ancestor that could, like, you know, maybe like Zeref went back in time to, like, this is the why he wanted to search the springs and all that. The reason they thought to, like, find people like this or his army is like maybe he went back in time to find someone. Although that would maybe fuck up with the timelines are a bit confusing, but then again, I don't think Veritas going to focus too much, like, on the big time continuum on the whole from that fact. But it's like, regardless of what, like, there are many options right now, but the most viable is that he's a divine god slayer, because all the holiness, and the ring is very important to him. But however, you can't overlook the relation between that cross. It looks exactly the same on his forehead than the one that Aline does have in her eye, so there might be something there. But I can definitely think I'm correct on my theory of the fact that he does control some sort of angel or divine sort of being, since we've already seen Aline control the earth, we've already seen someone like Bradman control death in the underworld, and now it's time for this man and all that to appear. And just Zereth's army is like Jesus Christ. It's like, if these last brigands are to be anything, like, we've seen the, like, insane power of August, we've seen the insane power of Aline, like that. We don't know about Invel, but my god, if this man and all that, like, what has he got planned and all that, like, what has Zereth got planned with this man, like, you know, so much stuff. And just we need to know his, like, identity alongside with Aline, like their relationship to, like, towards Urza and Natsu. And insane chapters are going to be coming in Fairytale, and this is possibly one of my favorite theories I've talked about in a very long time, because it's just so much fun by just literally going into the character's design and just thinking, like, what is he, who is he, like that, what is his relation. It's like just breaking down the entire design to find out what exactly he has and all that, and we'll just honestly have to wait and see what is up with him and all that. But, like, yeah, a lot of people did not expect another Dragneel to enter the fray of this war. So that's all from me, though. So thank you much for watching as always. What do you think about it? Do you think I'm correct about him being a divine god slayer or any kind of angelic thing like that? And you think I'm correct that he has got a relation all that to Natsu, but probably, like, do you think that is the father? Do you honestly think like he is the father of, like, Natsu and Zeref? Like, was he an experiment? Like, you know, like, from what we saw of, like, Natsu himself, is he, like, perhaps the E.L.D. through, like ETHERIOUS Dragneel, or perhaps is he from the future or the past, like that? All bets are open right now, ladies and gentlemen. Honestly, like, I don't think we're not gonna find out probably anything about this man in, like, 493. But yeah, we'll hopefully sometime soon, maybe in chapter 500, we're gonna see. But that's all from me. So thank you much for watching as always. If you love Fairytale as much as I do, though, and then you know where to hit that like, you know where to hit that subscribe. Thank you very much for watching as always, though, and I'll see you guys, though, next time.